What's up, y'all? I am your girl, Kandi, and to my left, we have Miss Tiny Hairs, Mrs. Tiny Hairs.
Okay.
And she's about to speak on it. Hey.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. So I finally got you on speak on it, ain't that something?
Yes, it's my second time though. You know that, right?
Yeah, but this time is there's a lot going on.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we just finished our show in Washington D.C., but we wanted to make sure we get this done. We wanted to make sure we speak on this episode because it was it's a lot.
You talking about the last episode?
No, this coming
New episode.
Yeah, this new episode. So I'm gonna have to touch on a couple things that have already happened before I get to it.
Okay.
Well, speak on it.
Okay. So, we've been in the blogs a lot for all the craziness and drama that's been going on with our group that has been playing out on television and through social media. But before we get into our group's drama, thank the Lord we got the Harris family back on our TV screens.
A little bit, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Now, question, how do you feel about being back in the reality TV world?
I mean, it feels good. It's a little different because, being on Bravo, and which we did the last show on Bravo, but being, I guess, in other network for so long, things are done a little different, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. It's work, you know what I'm saying, but it's always cool when I'm dealing with or working with people like you, Tamika, and everybody, and a lot of times, Tasha, but things went rocky this time, so
but no pun intended.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy what I do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's been a minute since we've been able to really see the family hustling or whatever. So it's really cool to see you and the kids.
Yes, thank you, Bravo, for letting me back on TV.
Hey. I don't know what they was thinking of having you on TV, because you are a rolling TV show. You was just that character.
No, thank you.
You've definitely been the comic relief for the show.
Hell no. We needed it.
Have people been saying that to you?
That's what they've been saying. They say I laugh at everything. I didn't know I'd be laughing at everything.
You have become like this little meme. Like, I think Jamie started that shit when she used that little clip of you saying...
Hell no.
Everybody is now using that little clip of you saying hell no.
No, I didn't even know I said it so much. I've seen, like, as I watched the episodes, I'm saying hell no through the whole damn thing, everywhere.
Okay, let's start with this. When it comes to us and doing a show with SWV, now, everybody had different feelings on if we should do the show or not from the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So how did you feel about doing this show? Just from the beginning.
The TV show or
the TV show?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I think I might have said something before, but I didn't want to do the show. Mm-hmm. I honestly I don't feel like any of us wanted to do the show. Any of our group wanted to do the show, just because the way it was sold to us was like, oh, we're gonna do the show with you guys doing a co-headliner thing, and. For me, I did not want to mess up the relationship that we had with SWV, because we've never really worked with SWV that closely, and never we've had like separate moments where we worked with Taj and been around Lily or whatever, but never like to do a show. You know what I'm saying? Reality shows bring out the worst in people. Yeah. So I just didn't want to mess up that relationship that we had. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to keep it very cordial, very light and friendly. So when we see each other in passing or whatever, when we do got to work together, it would be a great fun time. Right.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to do it for different reasons. First of all, I didn't even think we were going to have any drama with SWV, to be honest with you, because like you said, like we had already been friends with them for a long time. So, and we had done shows together before, just never combining a set. Right. We never combined one set together, but we've been on shows together. Right. So I didn't think it was ever going to be an issue with them. I didn't want to do the show because I already knew our own group was going to have issues, and it just magnifies it when the cameras get around.
I never thought that we were going to have, I mean, I know we got our shit, but of course, I didn't expect none of the stuff that went on or to be as big as it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, we, internally we know that these things have happened,
but we never spoke about some of these things publicly.
So for it to come out, for all the things to come full circle and everybody to see it and it to play out, it took a toll for the worse. I wasn't really even thinking about it. I thought, shit, we've been doing this shit so long, we can be able to get through it and we keep moving on. You know what I'm saying? But do
you think we're gonna get through it now? She had to take a phone break on that.
What you said, do I think we're gonna get through it now? I can't see it. I mean,
not in the near future. The 8 ball says we should get up.
I mean, when it comes to the family, feuding, I just, you know what I'm saying, it's new for us to see them feud this deep and this hard. The sisters. Yeah, the sisters.
Right.
So, and it's getting uglier and uglier, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I mean, you can't never say never. I feel like, they have always been what they have been. So I could see them maybe, I don't know, because it's getting so crazy. And to me, I'm thinking like they sisters and they really love each other. They've always been so close knit that somehow, they'll bring it back together.
Okay. So since we lightly touched, I'm trying to figure out which should we hit first. Should we hit our group stuff?
So, yesterday.
Oh, jeez. That was a disaster.
This episode, to me, okay, first it started off good. It started off with Tamika and Tasha was, apologizing to each other, whatever. So, that was sweet. That was touching.
What happened? Like, how did we even get here? I don't know.
It sucks when you see the apologies on television and then the stuff that's happening in real life is opposite. But and then we went into this episode when your daughter came to your house?
Yeah.
My God, daughter. And talking to you, trying to make you say that SWV should finish the show.
You need to get on it, Kandi. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, how she gonna try to play your mama out?
Yeah,
on
try
TV.
to get under my skin. That's what she was doing.
She was doing it on purpose.
She was definitely doing it on purpose.
So how did you feel about it?
I let her know. Her ass, girl, quit playing with me because for real, like she's really capping because although I feel like, then I asked, how many songs do you know? And you know what I'm saying? Most younger kids, they might not know our songs. It's like, I think Tasha's son didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess. But she know, of course, she's in the music, so she knows who they are, of course, but she don't know all their songs. She don't know their hits like we do. She know like 1 or 2 songs, maybe 3.
Right.
But, for her to come in, what you talking about?
Yeah, she was really trying to get
under your skin. You just want to bother me. You just want to boil my blood, get me riled up, because she liked me when I'm riled up.
So talking about the order of the songs, you guys had set assignments for everybody, and it was you, Coco, and Tasha. Why was Tasha not? Was she supposed to be there? Was she?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so the scene that they had me, Coco, and Steve in the meeting, right?
That was funny.
Okay. First of all, they don't always be showing y'all everything. So Tasha was supposed to be in that meeting with us. Tasha actually joined us on Zoom.
Ooh.
She didn't come to the meeting.
Zoom.
On Zoom. Now, I don't know if she was out of town. I don't know. Now, I know that the MD that we ended up using for the show, he was on Zoom as well. But he was out of town.
He was out of town.
But I don't even know if Tasha was out of town. But she was like, she couldn't make it. She just had to do it on Zoom. But I see they decided to not use her part. Yeah, no, literally, we're shooting the scene and she's on the TV screen in the room.
And who thought that was okay?
She did.
But I mean, and they let her do that?
Yes.
That's
I guess they didn't have a choice. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what she had going on. But she came to the meeting on Zoom, but they ended up just cutting her out the scene.
She was in Tiny Studio recording her gospel album.
Ah, girl, stop. I just kind of felt like Coco had came to the meeting all like already in the mood.
Yes, I could tell.
She already came in the mood. Now, to be clear, they did flashbacks on Taj and Tamika's conversation, which had happened before that. Y'all saw the scene from the other episode when Taj and Tamika was at that dance place and they was having a good time talking.
Yeah.
That's when this conversation actually happened. After the good time they had the conversation went left. But the show didn't show you that in that episode. They saved the dramatic parts for this episode.
Right.
So as flashback, they used them as flashbacks. But basically, so when Coco came to this thing, she had already heard what Tamika had said about.
Cause she was giving the net.
She was like, "Oh, we ain't coming in last. Oh, we ain't. Oh, and not last." She was like, "Oh, don't you think weak needs to go last?" And I was like,
we don't think
no,
so.
we don't think so.
Do.
Right.
Like, wow.
So I just don't understand. Like when I see the blogs and everybody kind of going in on us, everybody is like upset with us for saying what we had to say. But every time I look back at what I said, I don't feel like I said anything that was negative or taking jabs at them.
I didn't either. I mean,
I didn't even say it harsh, and I've been known to say some things harshly.
Even though we were connecting the show, I felt like they should have been dressed like how they usually dress because that's their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Their style.
And we should dress like we usually dress. I didn't feel like I know we was trying to do something cohesive, but I still felt like there should have been like the moments where you like, ooh, that's SWV. Oh, that's Escape.
I saw that Coco basically said, well, whenever somebody starts off with a conversation like, I don't mean to offend you, they're going to fucking offend you or whatever.
Yeah.
But my thing is, just because I say something that you don't like, it doesn't mean that I'm being disrespectful.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
right? How is that? Because at the end, and this is, please tell them what you felt about the conversation when they had SWV, Escape, all of us came together at the
at Corey
Boys where the stylist was. Tell the world, what did you think about that, child?
Which part? Because there was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? It was all over the place. I seen emotions were flying everywhere. Everybody was arguing. Coco and I think you had some words, and Tamika was trying to. Yeah, they were going back and forth. So Tasha was very quiet. Looking at everybody like we're crazy, and honestly, I seen that she wasn't even really on our side, even though we know she feels the same way we do.
Right, and that's the part that bugs me. Okay, so I felt like they did cut a lot of the conversation out. A lot of things that I said during the conversation, they cut out. Like you don't really see me talking a lot at all during that meeting on the show.
No,
you and Tamika did most of the talking on the show.
I did a little talking, but Tamika was doing. I seen you and because you and Coco had a little back and forth right there because and Tamika too though.
She got her feelings. I mean, I felt like she was in her feelings. I wasn't in.
Yeah, I think that they already came in kind of a little offended by. I mean, I guess from this thing that Tamika had said about the presidents. Precedents.
No, but when Tamika basically said to Tasha, not Tasha, when Tamika had said to Tasha, I guess in their meeting, that they don't have a Kandi and Tanya group, I felt like it became more about the conversation of followers, and they was making it seem like all we care about is followers. The thing that I didn't feel like they ever showed in the conversation was what we said was, when they kept saying, well, we sell more records than y'all. And we said, yeah, but we sell more tickets than y'all.
Right. And so I think that people, they got offended, but I don't understand why. Because when they said they sold more records than us, we admitted, yes, you're right. We're not like, oh, no, you didn't, or so what? You know what I'm saying? We say, yeah, you did. But we do sell more tickets than you. And the reason being is because we can reach more people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We reach more people. We have a wider audience because of our fan base. And I think that it just went over people's head because it was like, oh, follow, y'all think and honestly, a lot of people make their living off their followings.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Then people don't even work no more because they're able to make a real living off their following, the followers. So, it is important. Sadly, it is important because today's age is like ran by the internet and social media, and things are just so powerful on social media. Not like back in the day when we was coming up in the 90s, it was like you had to get out there and, be seen and do shows and, just be on the radio and all those things. Like, today the world is different.
Right.
So that's all we were trying to say.
And can I just say, I want it to be clear, everybody is talking about, I sold this many millions, I sold this many millions. But when the producers of the show went online, they showed the screenshots of what the album sales were at the time that they were filming this production, correct?
Right. Yes.
And they're not talking about single sales.
Yeah.
Or just your regular. They were saying what the actual album sales on record were at the time. They had 5 million.
5.4, I think.
And we were 4. Right.
Somewhere
so there were 1 million more than us.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, when you get to the point where you sold millions of albums, it's like we both have done a lot, so it's not like you're making me feel bad. Oh, my little bit of million sold, like we sold millions.
I guess the way it was thrown around, like the 30 million records, bitch. Like the way it was thrown around, like people started like, oh, y'all can't touch them. They sold 30 million records. When actually, reality, we like
neck
right
and neck,
here.
right?
And we still got more followers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was, I guess, as of February, that was what it was of record. Now that we didn't tell them to put that there. That's what the producers went in, got the actual numbers. So now everybody is adding all these other extra singles that they've had, the single sales and the this and that. But when you're talking about strictly just for the albums,
right,
that's what it was, and they posted that. So just so y'all can be clear and everybody can stop running these with fake news numbers.
Yeah,
like Donald Trump, since he about to get locked up this week.
And let's be clear. Like, I mean, I don't know if that adds up all 5 of their albums to our 3 albums, but either way,
yeah, it did.
Okay, so they've had 5 albums and we've had 3 albums, and they're at 5 4 something from what the producers have pulled up, and we're at 4 something. So I don't know how y'all want to look at that, but.
So yeah, let's not just say what, different people been telling you. Fact. The dance audition, how'd you feel about that?
The dance audition, I mean, it was so. Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing. I did not know that they didn't use dancers.
I thought they had like 2 dancers.
They don't use dancers.
Well, they used to not use dancers. I don't know if they do them now.
Well, for me, I just felt like I didn't know that when we was talking about, joining forces, that we were, I thought that these were all the things that we were talking about doing was things they kind of already do. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that we were bringing so much. I feel like we brought so much to the table. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For us to get downplayed, like we're supposed to be doing this and doing that. Like we're bringing a lot to the table that you guys haven't been doing before. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Just pretty much, some facts of how, we kind of do our thing. It's totally different from how they do their thing. So I guess when we joined forces, we kind of brought in a lot of things, to the table that they don't usually do. So, like dancers. They don't do dancers. I didn't find it out to the day of the thing because I was like, talking to them. They was like, well, we don't have dancers. I'm like, you guys don't have dancers.
They didn't do dances. They didn't do the graphics.
They didn't do DJ.
They used to didn't do a DJ.
They do the DJ at Versus, probably.
I mean, everybody do a DJ for Versus. So they don't do graphics. They don't do DJs, and they don't do dancers, and they don't wear outfits like that. And I mean, is there something else?
When we started having this conversation, I think people need to understand, because it's like, for one show, y'all can get it. I keep reiterating this. The whole conversation with us was about a tour. the promoters was having conversation with us directly because we weren't really dealing with a manager at the time, and saying, hey, we want to get this tour with y'all. This is what we got to spend. We're going to do this, give you guys that. And then this is what we got to give to the other acts.
Right.
Or whatever. And so we knew all the different terms that were being offered, same way as their manager knew. Now for us, the reason why we automatically felt like, oh, okay, yeah, we should be headlining is because we had already been headlining.
Right.
And it had never been a problem before. So it's like when you guys are like, how they think they supposed to, well, because they had already been on shows with us going before us, so we didn't think it was going to be an issue.
I mean, we've honestly, we've never done a show where we've opened for them or went on before them. That I recall, I've never recall a show that we've done that. So this would have been a first, and we don't understand why we would start now because why? We've never done it before. No promoter has ever asked us to go on before SWV. You're right, when it came up, it was supposed to be a paid show. Nobody got paid for this show. It wasn't like, this show just, they put it together and everything was done by the promoter or whatever.
This was just gotta be like a promo for the tour that we were going to be doing.
It was asked for us to do this grand show together, but you guys pay this much and they'll pay this much. And we like, what? What do you mean? And we didn't think it would be fair for us to play a 75% amount of the money.
That's if it was going to turn into a tour.
If it was going to be first of all, even when we wasn't going to do a tour, we thought we were going to get paid for this one show for a minute, and then it got too late, and everybody was like, no, it ain't gonna be. They can't promote, they can't do this and that, so we're just gonna put the show on and whatever. So even still, like, we thought we were, it was gonna be some kind of budget that people were gonna have to come out of pocket.
And to be honest with you, I think the reason why when I see them say stuff like, why are they talking about money and blah 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 blah, I was like, well, those conversations their manager probably was having for them. Right. So maybe they weren't as privy to some of the things that was said about that part.
So was the manager
as we were
ever?
That's true.
Was the manager ever not around when you were around SWV?
No, he was there. So I just was like, I didn't understand why. I just didn't get why like they was getting so offended when we said like we want to end the show or we want to, whatever. And then you guys are acting like we are tripping or we have an ego. But if you can imagine, if you were prior to this, had been doing shows with a person, you always headlined or you always was at the end of the show. Let's just say that. You always, had all these things going on. And now, everybody wants you to split your title, your everything. Then you go before them. It's like they want to flip the whole script from what you've been doing. You would be saying the same thing. Like, hold on, wait, why am I giving up everything? You wouldn't do it either.
I honestly feel like, as far as the show together, we didn't take anything from them that we can take back with us. And be like, oh, now we're doing so and so because we did that with SWV. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? We can't say that. Now, let's just say if I don't know what their show is like, but if they got dancers now or DJs or then we'll be able to say, oh, they changed their show up. They got some new stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get to do any. We didn't get to say, God damn, we taking that with us. We're going to put that on our show. Everything that we did together, we've already been doing.
Right.
Nothing new for us. You know what I'm saying? Just going back and forth was the new thing.
Right. But, okay, so the thing that I didn't think was made clear, when you kept saying, you arguing the same thing that we arguing, I didn't think that they really allowed us to make that clear. Because I remember saying in our meeting, which they didn't show on the show, I said to them, I was like, we're taking shorts the whole way around when you guys are keep getting your way. And they was like, how are we getting our way? I was like, you want it to co-headline? You co-headline it. Now it's like you starting the show and you want to end the show. I was like, if you want to split everything. I was like, so we are having to give up everything that we had going on to make you happy. But how are we made happy in the situation?
That's how I was feeling too. But in all fairness to them, I don't think they asked to start the show. They just wanted to end the show. I mean, I think that it came collectively like that they would start because I mean open and
They didn't
close.
cut it off.
But
They didn't say no because what they heard him say, you start, and she still wanted to end. So she didn't say, okay, swap us out.
Right. No, she didn't. And that was just like, at the end of the day, they were arguing the same point that we were. They was trying to stand their ground on. They wanted to finish the show same way we were standing our ground. So for me, I just kind of felt like that's a business disagreement. No feelings should be getting involved.
Yeah.
Like, that it just is what it is. You're standing your ground. We're standing our ground. But they were getting like a lot of like real, like, oh, she wanted to fight.
yeah.
Like, I'm like, girl, you act like we ain't come from the same, like, you from New York, but we from the A, so we all could be having them same type of vibes. But we wasn't trying to be like that with them.
No, I mean, we really, what I'm saying, we just wanted to say what we had to say. We really weren't trying to hold no grudges or be upset about it, you know what I'm saying? We was hoping that, we could all agree at some point, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen. But I don't know. I just think that it got out of hand because, they're making it seem like we're being petty. But honestly, we're all saying the same shit. Y'all, how we being petty when y'all saying y'all want to close. I mean, we're both saying the same shit. So we being petty, but y'all not.
Would you still like to see the tour happen with SWV?
I don't have a problem with SWV. Yes, you saying if I would go on tour with SWV, I'll go on tour with them. I mean, I love them.
With that being said, both of us are saying right here, right now, that we would still like to do the combined show with SWV if we can figure out the business side of things, right?
Yeah, I think if we can get the business together, I think that we can put on a hell of a show. The girls got amazing songs, amazing hits, timeless music. We can't deny that. We all have the same type of vibe and feel going on with our music as well. And so I feel like, people would love to see both, us go on tour and do a whole run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if we can make that happen for our people, our fans, I like to call them my fam, shit.
Me too.
I think that we should make it happen.
I agree. So that's where we are with that. So it's not for us. Y'all know y'all be like, oh, they got egos. Oh, what's up with you on this damn piano in your dressing room?
Oh, man. Meek done put me out there, ain't she? Y'all know it was a joke because you and Meek got mad that me and Tasha had a piano in our dressing room
twice.
2 times. They done got pissed off and want to fire
They
the
put
man.
us in the little dressing room twice. We went back to the same video. They kept putting them in the big room with the piano, and me and Tamika got the short end of the stick.
Boy.
Anyway, but this one here is one that likes the finer things in life. I mean, you see that on the show. So I don't think that Tamika was trying to really say Tiny wants a piano in her dressing room in every area, but she's definitely had a piano in her dressing room before.
Yes, I have, and Lord, it really made an uproar with these two. Her partner ain't in her, but yes. They cussed me and Tasha out and the people that work for us and everybody, especially the second time we got it. We ain't got nothing to do with it. You were trying to put A team in there, but I'm down with the B team now.
Now she calls us the B team. Whatever, girl. We have to touch on some of the things that have happened in the last week, a couple weeks, right? Our drama within our group is very public. Now, Tamika dropped her receipts video, which is on her YouTube. Tamika Scott, the real Tamika Scott on YouTube. You can go see. She dropped the receipts. Now, a part of them receipts was your mama was on the video. How did you feel about your mom being in the video with Tamika?
First of all, they tricked me because I had already told my mama, you ain't doing no damn videos. You ain't doing nothing. I mean, but, of course, Meek is my baby, and I do understand that she wanted to, I guess, clear up everything and show the people that, her sincerity and, give them some facts and let them hear from who started,
right?
Found all this and did everything with this whole company. But honestly, when I looked at it, I felt like Tamika did an amazing job by, because my mama will say anything if you let her keep going. And,
no, not anything to say, but it's facts, though.
No, when I say she
tell all
she
the
will
business.
spill everything, you know what I'm saying? So, I never know what to. I want to hold her back and protect her from, telling everything. So when I seen how they did it, it was tasteful. She did basically clear up, everything that happened, and she also, let you know how much she loves Tasha. She loves Tasha. You know what I'm saying? And she loves us all. You know what I'm saying? She's just, Escape is her baby. So she is not gonna sit up there and lie for anybody. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna take no side. She's just gonna tell it like it is. I mean, that's just who Lady Di is.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so basically, she cleared it up that the receipts that were in the video came from Sound Exchange, and that she was actually on the phone, and when the man explained how the checks had been cashed. Right. Okay. So with that being said, how do you feel about the receipts?
They're heavy. Receipts, baby. Receipts is heavy. And the thing is, I mean, we knew that Tamika had the receipts for a while, and she was not wanting to, I guess, take it any further, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, people were like, oh, well, y'all were doing interviews. We were doing press interviews to promote our show. And, of course, when you do press interviews, they want to know about what's going on, and they're going to talk about it, and they're going to ask you questions. But after, so we did answer them, and we gave them what they wanted. But after Tasha was going on all this press run, and she was like, just going so hard about, what she didn't do, and all of this stuff. I think
she actually said, I want to see it. If she got receipts, I want to see the receipts.
Yeah, and so it pushed Tamika to the point to where she's like, you know what? I got to go and give them the receipts. Because, as that being her family, she know that it was out there, and she know there was, it's heavy. It's still heavy on her because it's her family, you know what I'm saying? So, it's nothing that she takes pride in, or she took pride in doing, but, to clear her name up and to, I guess, just put it all out there and be done with it, she felt like it was time to do it. And she held it back as long as she could. But, it just more in another interview and an interview and an interview and an interview after each other. It's just like, okay, enough is enough. I got to go on and, clear my name, because y'all trying to make me seem like I'm the crazy one.
Right.
Well, their father did an interview saying that, for one, he doesn't watch the show, and a lot of the stuff he didn't know about from what he said in his interview. But he said it's like taking a Band-Aid off, because then once you take it off, it can finally heal. Like give it air, whatever. He expressed it.
We got a lot of Band-Aids we got to take off, honey. Well, it's still more stuff that we've never talked about publicly.
But he's saying that he hates that this is happening, and he doesn't really know everything about it, but maybe this is, in his mind, maybe this is something that needed to happen so they can heal. Have you guys looked at it that way?
And, that is a good way to look at it, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that there's going to be some way to heal, you know what I'm saying? Because they are family, and they've always been, very close, because Tamika was willing to sacrifice whatever, to keep her relationship tight with her sisters and her mother. And I think right now she's just grown to the point to where she is, standing up for Tamika, you know what I'm saying, if you will. So, but hopefully they could respect that and find a way to embrace it and, talk, get through whatever it is that's happened and forgive one another. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, how heavy that's going to go, or if it's going to turn around this fast or anytime soon. Okay. It may take years.
How did you feel about the apology video that Tasha put out this week?
I felt like it was, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say, like, I felt like she said some sincere things, and I felt like, I'm going to be honest, I felt like what she said about me was pretty sincere, because, it is true. She loves Zara. She's, me and her have always had a really tight bond, and maybe, she feels like maybe I should have spoke to her a little more. I feel like she could probably feel like that. I don't, and I feel like maybe, some of the other things she said about her mom, I know it's true, and, you know, she probably really feels like that. And, you know, maybe even Tamika, some of it, I don't know about, like, I don't remember exactly what she said about Tamika, because I can't really listen to the shit that she says about Tamika, because to me it feels like, you know, she's always what's the word when you're not taking accountability? Yeah, it's like she's not always saying what she didn't do, or you know, she don't know nothing about it, and I just can't really listen to it. But when she said about you, I don't know if I, you know what I'm saying, y'all just. You know, I don't know about
bullshit.
Yeah.
So you only agree with what she said about you. Nothing else in her
I think what she said about me was real. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Okay. Well, with that, I guess I can agree a little bit. Okay, so for me, I just kind of felt like, well, for one, I do think that it's been very heavy for her right now, and I understand how she can have that emotional breakdown, because right now she has been wanting to sing and have her own solo album forever. And obviously, all of this negativity is not doing anything good for her music. And so, for me, I felt like that's why she was emotional. Because here she is trying to do her music, and all this other stuff is kind of like blocking and putting some hate on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I felt like that's what made her emotional. I don't think she gives a rat ass about me. I don't. And you know, that's from years of experience. I can say that. I feel like if she was just having drama with me, this would not even be a conversation. Okay? There would not be one tear. There would be not one thing. I think the fact that she's having drama with her sister, the fact that, you know, you and her, that you ain't even for the bullshit, that. And like I said, all of the hate towards what she's doing musically, I think obviously that has made her emotional. Now, with that being said, I'm used to not really messing with me like that, so I didn't really, I'm not really like expecting apology from her, and I don't really necessarily need that, you know, from her to be made whole or whatever. I think. Obviously, the other thing was the way that Brett went in on her on their interview and was saying Kandi was sad, and she was like, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Don't try it. I think she doesn't want to remember.
But then Brett was like, no, I definitely remember, and you said it, and it was said in your first TV show, and Tasha's like, I don't remember her saying that. And I'm like, we definitely had a conversation on that show.
I think she doesn't want to remember.
I definitely felt like they used to gang up on me all the time. I mean, it was obvious. Everybody kind of knew that back in the day. It wasn't like no secret or whatever. I probably even go pull up one of my old diaries where I'm talking about it. Tasha really wasn't trying to hear what Brad had to say, but I think all the negativity that came from the fans from that obviously has taken its toll. So with that being said, I even said to y'all one time, I said, somebody might need to check on Tasha.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know.
She's not used well, neither Tasha nor Tamika are used to this type of hate and heat from the fans to, you know, be constantly saying stuff. They're not used to it. So for them, it hits different. And so, yeah, for some people, it's a lot to take when they see the comments. If for some people, they can only see two bad comments, and then they be like, oh, no, da, da, da.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of used to that.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's not as much of a breakdown for us, but for them, it is. So with that being said, I don't really think Tasha really cares about me and have no real apologies from me. I hear her saying, if I made you feel away, then I'm sorry. Which, you know, anytime they do that, if.
Yeah.
Being that you're both powerful women in the industry, what advice would you give someone who deals with trolls and bullies online? Like, how do you guys handle it? Because that was another big thing in the speech.
Well, for me, I used to, you know, for a while I used to cuss out, I used to clap back and I used to go, you know, crazy because, you know, I guess it'd be the comments that, like, people be so far off and they think they know what they talking about so much, so bad. You just be wanting to, like, check the situation and let them know, like, you don't know the hell you talking about. But I had to, you know, sit back and think about it, like, why should I give these people more consideration, when they know the least about me, for real. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't let that get me in an uproar, you know, because I know y'all don't even really know me for real. You only know the little bit that you see, and you taking that and you running with it. Mm-hmm. So that takes, you know, and that just keeps me to where I'm like, you know, I'm not going to entertain all this negativity. Like, you know, I got too many people on here that saying too much positive shit for me to stop and keep, you know what I'm saying, addressing everybody that got something negative to say.
Right.
Like, I can't do that because, for what?
Do you ever take any breaks?
I take breaks. I mean, I have taken a break, but I don't take them like, you know, every now and then me and my husband say we're going to take a break because, you know, it's needed. I feel like, you know, you should take a break from social media. The only thing is, you know, when you have so much going on, you want to, like, promote it. You want to talk about it. You want people to know about it. So, you know, you at least want to be on social media so you can promote and let people know what you got going on. But I guess, you know, to some degree, we should probably stay out the comments sometimes.
Stay out the comments. I agree with you on the stay out the comments.
Yeah.
I think the comments is what can hurt your feelings. Overall, I just kind of feel like it can't rain forever. No. And so sometimes you go through a little stormy season, and you just have to take it and keep pushing. Like, you know, people might be mad at you right now, but it's always time or opportunity, if you stay in it, to turn things around for the fans. But you got to be honest, and you have to take accountability, like Tiny said.
I mean, every storm runs out of rain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we know this. So you got to just keep looking for better days.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, the better days ain't came yet. Because the episode ended on another storm.
Yeah, it did. Well, you know.
Another storm. So we got to touch on this before I'm going to let you go. They see us come back together for this meeting at the studio. It's a town hall meeting. So y'all know I'm here for a receipt, honey. So I had told, Tamika had kind of like told me a little bit of her conversation with this promoter beforehand, and she told me that he had sent her all this stuff. So I was like, make sure you print it out, because you got to show these receipts now. You can't just be hitting people with fake news. So she printed, okay, so the promoter sent copies of screenshots of text messages between him and Rocky. And he also sent a copy of a wire transfer receipt from the bank. It was an actual wire transfer receipt with bank numbers on it. It was multiple payments. So it was one particular one that said like $5,000 or something. And it said in the notes section, it said for escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for escape, going to Rocky's company or whatever. So anyway, and you can't fake wire trans.
Is that Rockland Records?
Rockland, I believe.
Rockland Records is R. Kelly's company. You can look it up, research it. So. He tells a lot of lies, child. So please, y'all got to redo your research with the news, the fake news that be going on. But anyway, we're not getting on that. So this is the stuff that Tamika had. She had the copies of the text message. She had the copy of the wire transfer receipt. And I guess, was that it?
Yeah, I mean, that was enough.
That was enough.
Shit. The crazy thing is, for me, I mean, here's another moment where she just, and I didn't know nothing about these receipts. So mind you, when y'all start talking about these receipts, y'all hit me when y'all hit her. And I'm just like, damn, and but you know, here again, she's not taking any, like, she's not gonna, like, oh yeah, she's like, what is this? Like, I mean, but what is it? I'm like, they're text messages.
Like, you can read it just like reading it right now.
They have your man's number right here. I know your man's number. This is his number. She's like, anybody can do that. Like, anybody can do that. But the biggest thing is, in the text message, they're saying each other's name. It's saying Sam, Rocky. You know, they're saying each other's names.
You know, so exactly. We know exactly what he was talking about. But the thing that I knew for a fact that it was real was, okay, so basically what happened was, you guys know that for a while, Escape 3, which was Tiny, Tamika, and Tasha, they were doing shows without me. And, you know, I was filming and stuff. They were still doing shows. There was no bad blood about it. Y'all was doing y'all thing. We didn't have no negativity.
Right.
But they were still making money as Escape 3 doing concerts. And I wasn't on them. So apparently, this particular promoter wanted all 4 members for these particular shows.
Right.
And at the time, I remember Nick had hit me and he was like, oh, you know, they want you on the show, la 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 la. You know, he was like, we could try to figure it out. You know, I was wrapping up filming on something else or whatever. So anyway, whatever it was that I had been doing, Rocky refers to that in his text. He was like, yeah, you know, her, what did he say, nickname, or he said her agent. Her agent is says she's about to wrap up this project, but she'll be good for the show. And so my thing is, how could the promoter have known that to make it up in a text?
Yeah.
She was trying to make it seem like the promoter just faked some text. And it was like, no way that man could have known what I was doing. He said that. And also in the text, Rocky says, yeah, I talked to my wife. They show that.
Yeah.
I talked to my wife and she's excited, you know, about you giving me the first part or whatever, the money or whatever. And he was like, but she's going to make sure that she gets all of them and talk to the girls and make sure they all, what you say? How did he word it?
Everybody was going to listen to her.
Yeah, to get us on board to do these shows. Mm-hmm. And so basically the problem with this situation, guys, is for years we had been hearing from other promoters that Rocky was doing side deals with promoters, like, you know, like say if a promoter want to do a party at a club, he'll like, I get and getting people to give him money on the side, unbeknownst to us, to get us to show up, right? That's one thing. Mm-hmm. For another thing, as a group, we're all supposed to be splitting equal. Mm-hmm. Now, people call all of us with shows, but we're supposed to just say, okay, take the number and throw them to whoever's management or whatever, and let those people negotiate it. Not try to get an extra fee on top for connecting the show.
Right.
So that goes back to what you say at the end. Any money that's out there, it needs to be put on the table.
Yeah, because we need to know about it. You know what I'm saying? It don't need to be no money going back and forth that we don't know about on our name. You know what I'm saying?
And, okay, so that's the main thing. So anyway, the promoter, which is the promoter that she claims that she has a problem with now? This is the same promoter. Yeah. The same promoter that she said she don't want to do shows for. So anyway, the problem that ended up happening, me and Tiny ended up getting COVID that year. Mm-hmm. And we ended up, after the guy had paid him money to get us on the show, we ended up not being able to do the show. Right. So I guess that blocked Rocky from getting the rest of the money. Mm-hmm. And they fell out. Hence, now it caused all these issues with us and the promoter all of a sudden. We didn't know why we was having issues.
So that's what happened. That's what happened after the Lady of Soul with people being threatened.
No, that actually had happened before the Lady of Soul. Mm-hmm. That's why she was saying she didn't want to do those shows with that promoter.
But it's the same promoter.
It's the same
promoter that she had outed on her Instagram.
The one she's been talking about. It's the same promoter.
That, you know, yeah, he threatened her husband. We decided to keep doing shows with them.
Right, but they already didn't want to do the shows before that argument happened.
And honestly, the threat came after he threatened him. It was like,
yeah,
I mean, it's on the text, so I don't have to, you know, speak on it.
Right.
But it's on it's a text of it, you know. But here's the thing, like it was crazy to me and Tamika because Tasha, you know, being that her and Kandi never really got along, and at the time, it took us a minute when we didn't have Kandi. It took us a minute for us to get people to accept us as three people, as Escape 3. And at the time, we were making more money than we've ever made before. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because now you don't have 4 people to split with. You just split 3.
And we were making, and our budget was up. We was making more money. You know what I'm saying? So in the process, when she started saying, bring Kandi back, me and Tamika were like, for what? What are we doing that for? You know what I'm saying? We love Kandi and everything, but she don't want to do it, and we make good money. Like, what you talking about? You know, she was just like, yeah, but, you know, it'd be great to bring 4 people back and you know, to have an original. We like, all right, okay, because, you know, that's true. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't make no sense to us. But now when we read text messages, it all comes together. You know what I'm saying?
Because they was getting some extra money on the side.
They asked her to bring us back, 4 back, and, you know, we just is kind of like, what? You want to do that? Like, you want to go get her?
Right, which is so crazy because we had it, they didn't show you in that argument in a conversation that she and I had prior. The one that she told y'all that she tried to be tell how she was there for me as a friend. Really, she tried to throw at me. Then I'm the one who wanted you to come back. No, after seeing these text messages, I realized you only wanted me to come back because you was getting kickbacks for your husband. Yeah, so for you guys, for clarity, the text messages were legit. They were from the promoter. No, we didn't make them up. And I don't see how the promoter could have faked those text messages. It was clear conversations between the two of them. Too many of the things that were said in the text were things that actually had happened. Yeah, so nobody that wasn't a part of that couldn't have faked it.
And I don't think that he had Rocky locked in. I believe you could see the number. And we all know the number, you know what I'm saying? So she was saying anybody could have put this number and made it seem like it was, but it's like, why is anybody doing that? Like, why can't you just go with this is what happened? And I mean, it's not like we haven't had this conversation before. So for you to make it seem like, oh, this is just can't be. It's like,
Yeah, it was just kind of hurtful to me because not only like we showing you what the conversation between your husband and his promoter, but then also to know that you were a part of it. Like, Tasha, you clearly, your husband is saying here that he had been talking to you about this man giving him extra money on the side. So it was like, you were a part of this, and now you're trying to play us like we stupid right now.
Did you guys ever think, like, how long has this been going on?
No, we definitely knew it had been going on because we had heard from other promoters before that he had been trying, like, getting guys to give him extra money to get us to show up for stuff. Yeah. But this was the first time we actually had real proof in hand with a wire transfer receipt. That was the first time we actually had real proof to say, like, this is actually happening. We had heard it before.
Yeah, we've heard it before. But, I've dealt with Rocky many times after, hearing that and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's partly my fault, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of just got along with Rocky too because, he do kind of got the gift of gab and he kind of, come in and talk a little, try to, you know what I'm saying? Just be talking shit. And so me, it's that cancer in me, just be like, oh, okay. And I forget what the nigga did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, oh shit, I ain't even talking to this nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be. So, yeah, so we're all here. We're all in collective. And Kandi had came in like, I'm not doing anything if this goes on. Like, if you're, if this person is involved, I don't want any parts of it. So, it wasn't like, they didn't know. And I think that was the reason why it was so like, okay, let's not tell nobody and let's kind of, keep it on the, you know what I'm saying? Because they knew that if it was anything to be like, oh yeah, well, he's going to be getting money because of this and that. You know what I'm saying? She just didn't want to be associated with that kind of business.
Well, on top of that, the way I look at it is, if there's ever a thing where Tasha can make decisions based on what shows she wants to do or what promoter she wants to work with based off of who's giving her man an extra check on the side, then we're allowing her to control the situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, so...
Like, well, your husband's, you, Tamika, is anybody else's husbands involved in any decisions?
No. Our husbands are not involved in our decision making. Of course, they're going to tell us their opinion, but our husbands don't make no decisions for the group. So with that being said...
And they all try to pitch in and help here and there, but nobody's getting anything for it.
No kickbacks.
They might turn us on to this or say, hey, man, these people, but nobody gets anything for it. They just turn it over to whoever our people is and let it go. And so that's what we wanted from everybody's man. We just want it to be to where our men kind of stay out in the background and let us kind of handle it as us four women. But we can never do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why also when you think about, I guess reuniting, it just seems like it would never be be able to happen because there would never be a time that I feel like she's not gonna let I mean, that's her manager, that's who runs all her stuff, and he basically everything goes through him. So I just don't think we'll be able to work together because we know that, you know, at the end of the day, like, he's still going to be in control over that side. Right. We never know where that's going to go. So, you know, it's sad. It's a sad thing because, you know, we are still sisters, and we have amazing, you know, we have amazing sound as
together.
4 people.
Yeah.
You know, but we have to keep going. We have to keep moving because we love what we do. And, you know, our fans still love us and they still supporting us. So we're going to still be out there giving y'all what y'all want. It's going to be 3 of us. It's still 3 of us, and we out there, you know, and, you know.
We got a lot of shows.
My new podcast is going to be the Pretty Hustle Podcast with me and Zanique. You know, we're going to be starting it up soon. So y'all get into that. Like, subscribe. You know, I can't never get this shit. Like and subscribe and, you know, all that other stuff. I'm new to all this shit. This is the YouTube queen, and, you know what I'm saying, she's on it. So I'm trying to get, you know, in my sister's footsteps. Also, Major Girl is my Instagram name. So that's pretty much what I do. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all tune in to Queens of R&B. We probably have one more episode after this. Make sure y'all support each girl on all our endeavors. If y'all fuck with us. We got a lot more shows. Y'all, if y'all see a show we coming to y'all need to come see us, because, you know, it's going down, and we, you know what I'm saying, we want to make sure y'all know that we ain't stopping. You know what I'm saying? It's getting bigger and better.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's always fun to have Tiny, Major Mama.
Yes, you know.
All right.
With the big money boss.
Oh, no, you're the one with the pianos in your dressing room. Anyway, thank you for watching. Can I say something? Me and that damn Rocky never dated. We have never dated. So I don't know who's trying to start this rumor. We've never dated.
So y'all ain't dating.
You trying to be funny?
I had to fuck with you a little bit. Don't goddamn headbutt me.
I'm about to headbutt this bitch.
That big old head.
Okay, yeah, but we never dated. Now, he and I were friends first. Like, he became friends with me before anybody else in the group. But that was like on that first tour we went on.
Yeah.
We never dated.
Yeah.
To be clear. Never.
They never dated.
I would have told you.
Yeah, I know what you told me. There wasn't no dating.
And we never fucked either.
You never
Just
fucked.
to be clear, if somebody wanted to try to make that comparison.
Yeah, I didn't get close to nowhere near close to fucking. But yeah, you know, I Tasha, I feel like she's going through a lot right now. You know, it's a lot going on. You know, you got things going on with her sister and us. I think for one thing, I think, you know, we're still moving, still doing shows, and we know her passion is the stage. I don't know how she feels about that. She got things going on with her husband and everything. So, you know, we want to send her some love and, you know, some prayers, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, tell her, you know, we love you, you know, and everything. But, you know, I hope everything gets better.
Download Latasha Scott's album. And, yeah, please support her because she's going through a lot, y'all.
She is.
Download Zanique's record, too.
Yes, y'all. Check out the breakup, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're going through a breakup, you've been through a breakup, she got 4 good songs on there that is like, you know, really, you know, in depth of a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Check it out.
All right, I think we've addressed pretty much everything. And if we didn't, I'll address it the next time around. All right. Thank you for watching.
Speak on it.
Well, speak on it.
It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, oh no, it ain't nobody else's. It's just for you, and it don't matter if you're selfish. Just tell me what you want, I promise I'll listen. You're so deserving, come get all of these kisses.
Say